and welcome to my Neewer Q3 review, where I'll be talking you through my experience with this high-powered battery strobe and also talking about the full Neewer Q3 feature list and specifications, of course. I'll be showing you how to set up the Q3 with the QPro wireless trigger and how to use it. So come on, let's get into it and I'll talk you through it. So this is the Neewer Q3. And this is what you get inside the box. This carrying case is a nice little feature and it keeps the Q3 well protected, and more importantly, it's super easy to carry around too as well with you. So let's pop the case open and see exactly what you get inside. So I just unzip this. And the first thing with it is, this is the diffuser that comes with this kit. I'm going to talk more about that later on. You can also buy the Q3 on its own or with the diffuser. Again, I'm going to explain that to you later on. I'll just pop that up along so you can have a look and see. So down below on the bottom here, we have the Q3 itself. It normally comes packaged in plastic, but I've been using this for about 2 months now. So I didn't think there was any point putting it back in the packaging again. So here we have the battery charger. Here we have the AC adapter then to charge it, and here we have the light stand, and there's a small little thumb screw there too as well for that, and here we have the battery. Now the one thing, as I mentioned already, you can see this is beautifully padded, and there's also padding in the outside casing too as well, so that's going to really help protect the Q3 when you're carrying around the place. Now, you don't have to obviously use the carrying case, but it is super handy if you're running and gunning and flying around the place. Or alternatively, you can just catch the Q3 and pop it into your pocket and go from there too as well. So it's super easy to set up. All you need to do is take the battery cover off the battery and slide it into place and click, that's it, it's done. Battery installed. The light stand in, as I said before, this fella fits in on the bottom. You just screw this in along, and basically you have 2 1/4-inch mounting slots here. We'll put it on the bottom one here now. So if I just turn that around and twist that into place, with 2 seconds there now, we'll have that in and locked in place. And then that fits on your light stand, or you can use it like this if you have an assistant walking around. It's nice and light, super compact and highly portable. Again, to charge the battery, all we do is just press the button here, take this out and pop it into the battery plate, plug in our power adapter, and away we go. It'll charge the battery from there then. The Neewer Q3 is a 200 watt 2.4 gigahertz TTL flash strobe, and it comes in 2 different kits at the moment. You can get it with the Q3, the light stand, the charger and the battery, or you can also buy it with a small diffuser too as well, included in the kit, which costs about $20 more. So that's the fella itself. It just helps soften the light coming off the Q3 itself. Now, speaking of price, at just $199.99 for the standard kit and $219 for the flash and diffuser, it's a real bargain. And don't forget, my 21% off discount code HAZE21 takes another 21% off that price. The Q3 can be very easily controlled by the Neewer QPro wireless trigger, so you can also pair it with the likes of the Neewer Q4 or the Z2 flashes like I have here if you want to. The Q3 has 32 channels and 5 groups, so setting up multiple strobe shoots is no issue at all, and you can easily assign them to different output powers for the exact look you want to create in your images. The Q3 has a guide number of 58 and it can deliver up to 500 full power flashes per charge. And this is incredible, as the Q3 will literally keep going all day for you then, especially on lower output settings where the flash won't be using as much of the battery power, so it lasts even longer. It can also go up to 1/8000 of a second in HSS mode. This is fantastic where you are shooting in bright daylight, as it's really going to help you battle direct sunlight and remove some of that horrible harsh overhead lighting you can get. The Q3 also has a recycling time of between 0.01 of a second and 1.8 seconds, depending on the output power, of course. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to switch on the flash itself. Give it a second. It's on and it's working. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to set the output power here now. So If I go down to, let's say, 1/16 output, and if I press the button now, you can see it's nearly instantaneous. The flash goes off, bang, and it recycles incredibly quickly. If I go to 1/32 output power, it's near instant. If I go back up along then again to 1/8 power, let's say, sorry, no second there, 1/8 power, incredibly quick again. When I go to 1/4 power, fractionally longer, but not much. And then I go to half power, it's roughly around a second. So you can see at half power, it takes roughly just a bit under a second. But when I go to full power then, it is taking that 1.8 seconds at full output power, but that is full output power. But again, as I say, once you go down to, I found even 1/8 power, it is incredibly fast. It is near instant, so that is fantastic. As you can see, you can vary the output power on the Q3 all the way from 128 output power all the way up to full power in full stop steps. But more importantly, and the feature I love about this flash is it can easily slide into your pocket. Yes, I know you might say, can you fit that in your pocket? But I generally can, and it's very easy to carry around with you then. Combine that with its battery power and its stamina and the ability to keep going all day on half power or even quarter power or 1/8 power, and it still packs the punch you need to deliver great images in daylight situations. The Q3 is a great little strobe, and for me and for anyone else who shoots off-camera flash, this is a super useful strobe at a truly incredible price. Speaking of price then again, I should say you can get the Q3 for around $165 because, as I mentioned earlier, it normally retails for $199, and with my Neewer discount code you get 21% off, so that price drops down to just $165. Now I know a lot of people will be comparing the Neewer Q3 to the Godox AD200, as let's face it, they look practically identical. But the Neewer Q3 is a good bit cheaper at $165, while the Godox AD200 is currently retailing at around $299 on Amazon. I just checked it there a minute ago. So it's nearly half the price, and that's a complete steal. So the Godox AD200 and the Neewer Q3 are incredibly similar, with the biggest difference between the two of them being the price. As I mentioned already, I use the Neewer Q3 with the QPro wireless trigger, and they are super simple to pair. So let's have a look and see how you can do that. Well, the first thing you do is you check to see what channel your QPro wireless is on. It's on channel 9 here now. So how do you change the channel on the Q3? Well, what you do is the button above on top here says RGCH. So the RG is actually for the group. So if I press this, it's on group B here now. I can press it again. It goes C, D, E, goes back to A again, and it goes to B. We want our Neewer Q3 on group B. But if I want to pair it to the camera here now, or to the trigger, I just hold down this button, and then you can see channel 9 is flashing, and on the side here we have a set button or set dial, so I can just rotate that to whatever setting I want. So if I wanted to pair it to a trigger on channel 10, I can just set it to channel 10, and that's it. But if I just set it to channel 9 there now, and if I press my button above on top here now again, it's synchronized. So when I press the flash button here, it fires. So it's now firing off the flash. So that's great. So we have that working. Now, how do we adjust the output power? So let's say I want to adjust the output power because this is on group C, let's say group B there now. So it's on 1/32. So if I press B here, you can see it's on 1/32. So if I bring that all the way up there now, let's say we're going to go on full output power. It changes here to full output power, and I press the flash button and bang, that's it. Now, normally the actual camera would trigger the flash, but you also have the option of testing it here too as well. So again, I can just press B and I can drop that down. And if I say, oh, that's too severe, I actually want to drop that down to 1/16 power or something along those lines, I can just go all the way down along. There I'm at 1/16 power, and it's at 1/16 power here too as well again, and fire off my flash, and it's not quite as bright then. So if I want, let's say if I had my Q4 set on group A, I can just press A, and I can adjust the output power then of the Q4 itself. And if I go to group C, I could have had my Neewer Z2 on that, and I can adjust the output power there then again on the Z2 itself. Let's say we'll bring that up to 1/64th power now, let's say, for argument's sake. So there we go. So it's on half, 1/16th and 1/64th. And when I fire off my camera then, it's going to trigger all 3 flashes at the same time. So that's basically it. And as you can see, it is incredibly simple to set that up. Now, the one other thing I didn't mention or I didn't show in the video is that the Q3 also has a modeling light. So if I press this button, it's going to switch on the modeling light. Now, this is incredibly handy because let's say you actually want to see how the shadows are going to fall on your model or see how harsh the shadows are going to be. It will give you a good idea because you can see the shadow detail here on the side. So when I fire off my flash, it's going to give you a good idea of how the shadows are going to form or shape around your subject. And again, you can just press the button to switch that off. Now, you can also hold it down so you can actually switch off the sound too as well, so you won't hear that beep when it's ready to recycle. So that's handy if you're shooting events or if you're shooting newborn photography or something where you wanted the actual flash itself to be silent. And again, hold it down and it's going to switch it back online again. And again, we have our high-speed sync here, and you can switch on and off the wireless too as well. You also have your mode here. You can see I'm in manual there now at the moment. You go multi-mode, and I go TTL. And obviously, if we can adjust the TTL here too as well with the set button, plus or minus too as well. So it's exposure compensation for TTL. And press it again, and I go back to manual. Manual mode is the one I generally use. The other thing, Jen, just to show you, if I switch off the flash, is on the side. This is where our battery is installed, so I can just slide this button open and it will eject the battery, and you can buy spare batteries online too as well from the Neewer website or from Amazon or wherever you get your supplies from, and you can just pop it back in and it clicks in place, and that's it, it's set. The display on the Neewer Q3 is very easy to read even from a slight distance. You can see the output power, what mode you're in, if the Wi-Fi is on or off, what group you're in, your battery status, and you can also see what channel you're working on too as well. So as you can see, the Neewer ecosystem is super easy to use. And I really love how easy it is to carry around the Q3, as I keep mentioning, because you can pop it into your camera bag or even your pocket. And yes, I know I keep saying that, but that's just because it's so true. Neewer certainly are one of the rising stars in the world of camera accessories and lighting. The quality of their products for the price is simply incredible. And that's why you see me doing so many Neewer reviews recently, because I just have to say, I've always liked their products, but the quality has just taken that step up again. And the value for money is simply fantastic. You just can't go along, or you can't go wrong with a lot of their stuff. So all in all, the Neewer Q3 is an incredible strobe that's available for stupidly low money, making it a near must for your kit bag. And as I say, after 2 months of use, now this flash is definitely after earning its place in my kit bag. And I can't wait for the many adventures we're going to go on and the many photo shoots we're going to do together over the next few years. I, for one, I'm really looking forward to it. So thanks again for watching. And if you have any questions or need any help, please do feel free to reach out to me, as I'm only ever too happy to help. So see you out there, or see you in the next video.